You have a question? Oh, yes, I have an answer. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. This is another episode of Ask James. Let's get to our email. Hey, Mr. James, wanted to start off saying I watch all your videos and I absolutely love you. Thank you very much. You're so genuine. I'm coming to you to get your opinion on whether a friendship of mine is worth salvaging. So, this chick and I have been best friends for about 7 years. We recently had a falling out about something I found very stupid. She's always talked about wanting to be a fashion designer and about 2 years ago purchased a sewing machine. She talked about getting lessons for using the sewing machine but never has. I took her with me to a guy friend's cookout, and the guy and I were talking about a business venture I wanted to start that involves clothing. I've mentioned this to my best friend several times, and she was never interested. I told the guy I sewed Barbie clothes when I was younger. Mind you, I'm 28 now. And I could show him the basics of using a sewing machine. When we got into my car to leave, she flipped out on me, stating that I had never offered to teach her how to use the sewing machine and how far ahead she could have been with that knowledge. Really? She said it was shady of me to never mention it. She was crying and cursing me out as I'm driving her home, and I was stunned to silence. I bet you were. I let things cool down for a few days and attempted to talk to her. She made it seem like she was too busy to be bothered. I've seen how she treats other friends. She likes her ass kissed, and I don't kiss ass. So that's what I told her. She blew up again and about how not teaching her held her back and I'm minimizing her feelings and blah, blah, blah. I've never wanted anything but the best for her. I stuck my neck out and got her hired on at a company I worked for after she failed the entrance test. Then she turned around and failed the drug test. She was mad at me about that, too. Am I wrong for feeling like she could have just looked up how to use the sewing machine on Google? Oh, okay. You know what? Let me ask a question. When y'all were at the cookout, was she drinking? Because I don't know how she got to the whole crying and all of this kind of carried on. She sounds dramatic as hell. Like, really? Let me tell you something. When you have an interest, especially a creative interest in something, and you ask me about sewing, again, that's what I do. I decided in the summer of me going from 11th grade to 12th grade that I wanted to learn how to sew. I literally went and I bought this story, which sounds so familiar, but I went, and this was just a couple weeks, like maybe a week or two after school had let out for the summer. I went and bought a sewing machine, pretty inexpensive sewing machine at Sears and Roebuck's. I bought the sewing machine and I came home, and from that day, I began to teach myself how to sew. By the time we got from summer, when I got to school and I picked my classes and my electives, I picked the sewing class. I was already too far advanced for the sewing class, bored me to death. By the time we got to the end of the school year, I actually had made and designed my prom date's gown. So we're going to take away the fact that I actually had a God-given talent that I just wasn't aware that I was going to tap into like that. I knew I was creative and I drew and all that stuff. But it was kind of like that discovery of what it was I wanted to do with myself, and I just hadn't tapped into it. So I had a little bit of an extra push that was given from up there. But the point that I'm making is anything that you are that passionate about, she was so passionate that she done cussed you out. She would have done more to be getting started. Ain't no 2 years went by and no sewing machine sitting nowhere and you ain't did nothing, girl. Quit playing. Quit playing. And then when you said other things about her personality, it made a lot of this behavior make sense. She likes to have people run behind her and make over her. And when you actually talk to the other friend about the business venture and then the conversation took off, as opposed to you speaking it to her and it falling on her deaf ears, her ass got jealous. That's what ended up happening. That's why you got cussed out. That's why she did all that crying and carrying on and all that foolishness. And I'm going to have to tell you, as far as that and the little stuff at work and all that, how do I get mad at you because I'm a high bitch and I flunked the drug test? Now, listen, let me tell you something. Don't be like me. That's the advice. This is the advice I have for you, because I have this bad habit of, it's a Capricorn thing, but I have a bad habit of allowing people to get away with stuff. I let them get away with stuff, and then once I've had enough, then I end up blowing up, and it gets really, really ugly. Do not be like me. Give her a good letting alone. That's what you need to do. She ain't got time for you. She's making it very easy for you. She's opening up the door for you. You don't have to break and bust the friendship. It's already broken and busted because she's not a friend. She's not a good friend. She's not a good friend. She's a liability. She's a liability, and she sounds to be very aggravating, and ain't nobody got time for that. And that's one of my largest problems, is trying to be a friend to people and taking their negatives that don't work with me and excusing them and making excuses for them and trying to give them a chance when they ain't going to change. That's just who they are. That's who they are. So that's my advice to you, my darling. Don't be like me. Don't let it wait and fester. And when you look up years and years have passed, she's already showed you who she was. You take she busted the friendship. You don't have to bust it up. She already did it for you. Give her and her sewing machine and her tears a good goddamn letting alone. That's what you do. All right, baby. I hope this helps. I thank you so much for watching and being down with me and requesting that I even speak on your situation. And I thank you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, babe. You have something you need to get off your chest or something you need some help with? I'll give it my best shot. Send me an email to spillitboy@gmail.com, and in the title line, you want to put Hey James to make sure that I actually see it. If you don't put Hey James in the subject line, I'm not going to see it. It's going to continue to be an issue. So send me an email and we'll talk about it later.